This is Behind the Mic with AudioFile Magazine. Leslie Fine has been with me for the entire week, and I am curious to know how she is going to bring her first week with us to a close. Take it away.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. This has been so fun. The last title that we're going to talk about this week is called Small Things Like These. It's by Claire Keegan. It's read by Aidan Kelly. And just like the other titles from this week, I keep thinking about this little book. I guess you would describe it as a novella. It's a 2-hour performance. And honestly, when I got to the end, I went back and started it over again. I wanted to hear it again. That's how much I enjoyed it. I really, really did.
Wow, that's high praise indeed. I mean, Claire Keegan is really a beautiful writer.
Oh my gosh, if anyone hasn't read or listened to Foster yet, please do. It was so great. And this one is
Agree.
great as well.
Well, tell us a little bit about this. I think it might be familiar to people because it was actually made into a film.
I just learned that. I have to look it up. Yes, so it takes place in a small Irish town. And our main character, Bill Furlong, is a coal merchant. And at the very beginning, it's so beautiful. It's so clear how much he cherishes his home and his family. And you just have this really cozy feeling going on. But then, as the wider world, as Bill kind of ventures out into, all of the things that are going on outside of his home, it doesn't ruin anything by any means, but it definitely impacts that security that he loves so much. And I think that's part of what stayed with me as a listener, listening to him sort of have to open his eyes to things around him, and how's he going to do with that? How's he going to move on? I don't want to ruin anything from this story, but it really was a great listen, and Aidan Kelly does a wonderful, wonderful job.
I don't know Aidan Kelly as a narrator. Did you?
I don't think I have listened to Aidan Kelly before. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. But, oh my gosh, the voice, it's that kind of a voice that's very, I just think of, like, quietly powerful. Of course, you have this
Mm.
beautiful accent, that musical Irish accent. There's this subtlety in the phrasing that it's just so easy to listen to, and the tone of his voice is so rich. It's beautiful.
Well, why don't we hear a little bit of that richness now? Do you need to set this up?
Well, I can give you a little bit of an idea. So this is Bill, our main character. It's the story of his early years. These are his origins. So the details kind of set the stage for the plot.
This is Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, read by Aidan Kelly.
Furlong had come from nothing. Less than nothing, some might say. His mother, at the age of 16, had fallen pregnant while working as a domestic for Mrs. Wilson, the Protestant widow who lived in the big house a few miles outside of town. When his mother's trouble became known, and her people made it clear that they'd have no more to do with her, Mrs. Wilson, instead of giving his mother her walking papers, told her she should stay on and keep her work. On the morning Furlong was born, it was Mrs. Wilson who had his mother taken into hospital and had them brought home. It was the 1st of April 1946, and some said the boy would turn out to be a fool. The main of Furlong's infancy was spent in a Moses basket in Mrs. Wilson's kitchen, and he was then harnessed into the big pram beside the dresser, just out of reach of the long blue jugs. His earliest memories were of serving plates, a black range, hot, hot, and a shining floor of square tiles made of two colours, on which he crawled and later walked, and later still learned resembled a draughts board, whose pieces either jumped over others or were taken.
Oh, I just want to say goodbye to you now and keep on listening to him.
Oh, you will love it,
His voice is extraordinary.
right? It's so good. And when he gets into, the various characters, it's subtle, but everything just works. It's it's a phenomenal performance. I enjoyed it so much.
Okay, it will compete with the history of sound for the top of my list this week.
Oh, I really hope you enjoy them. I loved them both so much.
I'm sure I will. Listen, it was such a pleasure, Leslie. Thank you, and welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. I just love talking about audiobooks. I think they're amazing. Well, any books, but especially audiobooks. And I hope lots of people are able to enjoy these wonderful performances.
And I will talk to you next month.
Thank you.
Behind the Mic is produced by Jessica Lockhart. Robin Whitten, Michelle Cobb, Leslie Fine, Alan Minskoff, and Kendra Winchester are our contributors. Jennifer Dell is our editor, and the music is William Ross Chernoff's Nomads 4-Way. And I'm your host, Joe Reed. Good listening.